doctor called her one day and said, your only child is brain dead and going to be disabled for the rest of her life. She said, doctor, I blame you. This is racism. This is how you treat black children. Do you agree that racism is responsible for this case? Let me know whether you agree or disagree as we share this story that hopefully somebody will learn from this story. This is the story of Sarah Ungaba. Sarah told her family in London that she was pregnant. She was living in Shropshire where she had no support network. She was a single mom who was expecting her first child. The family said to Sarah, who had one conviction before, Sarah, come down to London. Come and stay with the family where you have support network. At least when you have the baby, we will support you as we Africans do so that you are not isolated. Sarah decided to listen to her family. She came down to London and gave birth to the baby in East London, where she stayed for a few weeks. She stayed and she was supported by her family. And after some time, Sarah decided to return back to Telford, where she lived. She was feeding, and baby appears to be bonding with her mom. One day, Sarah's friend called Sarah, and they were having a discussion. The friend said, Sarah, how's baby doing? Sarah said, fine. So let me see the baby. The friend saw the baby. Baby looked pale, and baby looked abnormal, and he was shaking. And the friend said, Sarah, please, call the ambulance immediately. Make sure you get medical treatment for your baby. Your baby is not well. Sarah said, are you sure? He said, yes. Sarah said, no problem. I will call. The friend said, look, don't waste time. Call the ambulance as soon as possible. As soon as the friend dropped the call, Sarah had other plan. Instead of doing what the friend advised her to do, Sarah decided to say, let me go and take a bath. I want to look beautiful when I go to the hospital. When she finished taking a bath, Sarah then realized that, oh, I want to play lottery. This time around, before I do that, let me call the taxi. Remember, Sarah was warned. Call the ambulance straight away. Sarah called taxi around 13 minutes past 8. The taxi then arrived at 8:50 to pick up Sarah. When the taxi arrived, CCTV showed that on the way to the hospital, Sarah stopped and decided to play lottery. She probably thought this week is going to be my lucky week and I'm going to win lottery. Sarah was very calm when she bought the lottery ticket and she withdrew some cash. Mind you, her baby was fighting for her life. But that wasn't Sarah's number one priority. When Sarah then arrived at the hospital, medical staff described Sarah as being calm. She appeared detached and she showed little sign of urgency that my baby was fighting for her life. Sarah was even talking about housing with the staff. Instead of focusing on the life of her baby who was fighting for her life, Sarah had other priority. She didn't show any sign. Staff became concerned. What kind of mother is this? Why is he not showing any sign that this is her baby? Eliza, baby, looked pale, gasping, seizing, and near collapse. The baby was suffering from seizure due to something that happened to the baby. When you find that, you'll be shocked. Doctor identified violent shaking and severe skull fracture, and that was an unexplained injury, a non-accidental injury, which means the skull that was damaged was caused by somebody. Who caused it? That's what you're about to find out. They became concerned. Eliza initially survived, but was disabled and brain dead due to that skull, that injury, and that lack of prompt medical attention that she received. Immediately, the medical staff were concerned. A few minutes later, baby died from respiratory infection complication linked to the trauma that she suffered. Can you imagine the pain that this baby went through? After that, Sarah was arrested. They said, you are the only one that you caused the injury to your baby. Tell us the truth. What happened to the baby? Sarah then said, look, I am going to tell you the truth. This was not a premeditated murder. I did not plan to kill my child. The reason I did what I did is because I am suffering from postnatal depression, another form of mental health. I'm a single mom. I have no support network. I love my baby, but because of the mental health, I wasn't in control of my behavior. So the mental health is responsible. And the mental health even make me to go and buy lottery tickets. Even make me not to call the ambulance. Even make me to call the taxi because I was suffering from mental health. It affected my judgment. That is what Sarah said. She said it is called infanticide due to mental health. The jury looked at the evidence. They said, Sarah, you were suffering from mental health as you claim, but you stopped and you were thinking of lottery. You want to win. You caused injury to this child. And because of that, they said to Sarah, you are ready to go in for a long time. 1 in 5 women will suffer mental health after birth. And it is higher if you come from immigrant background due to factors like racism, isolation, lack of support network, poverty, living in overcrowding condition, you name it. These are factors that exacerbate the issue among minority. And the signs that you have to look out for, if you see somebody always sad, showing sign of anxiety, irritability, difficult bonding with their baby, overwhelmed by fear and exhaustion, they are not sleeping well at night, that could be another cause. When you see all these signs, you need to see that's the red flag. You need to be looking at what can you do to help them. Severe sleep deprivation can also help. Early diagnosis and family supporting can mitigate all these factors. These are problems that is high if you are an African or you're an immigrant. It is high. This is the face of Sarah. Sarah is now facing 14 years in prison for the death of her baby. 14 years she has been given for the death of her baby. She is saying that it is not my fault. It is mental health. What are the lessons that we can learn from this? Number 1, early medical emergencies involving children should never be delayed. Emotional distress and mental health struggle after birth require serious attention. Friends and family and healthcare system play an important role in identifying warning signs. Child welfare and safety must always remain the highest priority in caregiving situations. Clear communication with medical professionals is critical during crisis. Quick emergency response can sometimes prevent tragedy. Do you believe that mental health is responsible for Sarah's actions as she claims? Do you think that a mother who stopped by to buy lottery tickets, she probably thinking, if I win, I'll use the money. Let me know whether you agree that it is mental health or not. Do you think there's enough services for people from minority, immigrant background, especially women that have just had baby? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. The mental health is real. We need to talk about it. Let's not pretend that it is spiritual attack. If you know anyone that will benefit from this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. Peace and love. I'll see you soon.